Hi, Dean Jenkins with FollowMeTrades.com, and this is the market update for the week coming up of March 30th, 2020. So, really interesting week in the market last week. Well, it's been an interesting few weeks, hasn't it? And first, before I get into the analysis, I just hope that you and your family, everyone you care about, is safe and being protected from the coronavirus, and that you're following all the guidelines and just staying safe, and that you're enduring the quarantines and social distancing with good cheer and good grace. We're certainly trying to make the best of it here. So, interesting week last week, after a really, kind of historic, unprecedented, rapid drop in the market, we had a rebound. Monday opened down, but then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday were all up days on the indexes. And really on Thursday, it was particularly interesting, a very large rally, as even in the face of historic unemployment numbers, 3.3 million new claims coming in a week. But that was, pretty well expected. I don't think that surprised the market at all. And then on Thursday, of course, the Senate passed the Relief Act. And then on Friday, it was approved by the House and then signed into law by the President. And the market gave a little bit back. There was, some up and down, but ultimately closed down about 900 points on the Dow. So from a technical standpoint, what we have is, we had a big wave 3 up on the indexes that lasted years. This was a clear correction, a wave 4 in Elliott wave terms. Elliott wave 4, interestingly, has typically, the classic formation of that is it's got an ABC, a 3-wave formation, where, we had this kind of A wave down. There's an expected retracement in that, and then on to new lows. And this expected retracement probably would fall, the high probability is within here. So it looks like we've got, and it could go beyond it, could fall short, but it looks like we potentially have some more room to go up. Now it won't be linear, right? Even this move down wasn't linear. You could see it, on the way down it makes lows, lower highs, lows, lower highs, lows, That's how price moves. And on the way up, you expect high, higher, low, high, higher, low, right? Something like this. So this could be what's happening. I think this is the likely scenario, that is over the next week or two, we will probably climb up a bit into this, what we call an ABC formation. Now, there's no guarantees with any of these analysis. This is just probability. There's lots of things that could happen. I think everybody's watching the curve, as we keep hearing it referred to, the growth curve of new cases of coronavirus. And, at some point, presumably that curve is going to flatten and then turn down, and then, the number of new cases will decline. And that's certainly the hope. And I think that will, that's a good thing. And it'll certainly be good for the market. And of course, we've then got the implementation of the Relief Act. How quickly can they begin acting on that and getting relief into people's hands, and that money back into the economy, and then ultimately people getting back to work, and then having some gauge of the ultimate impact to the economy and how long lasting that's going to be. All a bunch of unknowns. But again, I think the probability is that, there's some degree of optimism that and the market could continue up. Now, I said, this will high, higher, low, high, higher, low. The overnight open on the S&P 500 futures is down right now. So here's where it closed Friday, and then the overnight session opened, it gapped down, went up a little bit. Now it's kind of stabilizing. Currently, the S&P 500 overnight futures down 51 points, 2%. So that's implying a down open on Monday. But as we've seen, it can open down and go up. It can open up and go down. This purple line is the implied open. And again, that could just be part of high, higher, low, onto new highs. And that's what I'll be looking for. I'm not going to bet that that's going to happen. I'm going to wait and see that it happens and then trade accordingly. But I think that's the likely scenario, and one that I'll be watching for. If it turns from here and goes down, there could be some more shorts. We'll take those. And we're looking for some long opportunities. We actually took 2 new long trades on Friday, and so far they're looking really good. And we do have earnings season kicking off in about 2 weeks, and there'll be some anticipation leading up to that. There's when people expect either good results for companies to result, there's often a run up into the earnings announcement. We can capitalize on that. We can look for those patterns. Or if they're expecting bad results, then price can run down into the earnings announcement. So, in all conditions, there's always opportunities in the market. We got all kinds of tools to scan for and find those for various situations. But this is, I think this is the big picture to watch for. Probably, the probability, no certainty, of continued movement up over the next week or two, and then potentially a turn and another pretty good move down. That's just from a technical standpoint. Again, I've talked about some of the catalysts that we could be watching for that to happen. Things can change quickly, and in these times it's important to have a trading plan, to follow it, to be disciplined, be fairly nimble. And we've got mostly cash on the sideline waiting for opportunities, so when they emerge and they're clear, we can jump in and participate. So I wish I could offer clearer guidance, but I think these are the probabilities. This is what we see from a technical analysis, and there are some opportunities. And I talked about the fact that earnings is coming up could present some opportunities. And I talked about last week some of the stocks that have been really beaten down and are heavily shorted. There could be a short squeeze forming and still some opportunities for trading there. And there's some companies and sectors that are doing well. People that make medical supplies that are in need. Some companies that have shifted production and are helping with producing medical supplies. So all kinds of opportunities, different ways to go find good, safe trades that meet your trading rules, and you still, of course, use risk control. So if anything changes, I'll send a midweek update, but for now, that's kind of the outlook. And as always, I welcome your questions, your comments, and your feedback. Thanks.